I am laughing completely that Ruto tells of the West over delayed tactics. The questions you raise, you are begging. You are at a point of disadvantage. You have nothing. And you are telling off the funders. The West has never ever had any interest with Kenyans or with Africa at all.
But remember, this is a right. And there was a deal that was already signed.
It is a
that
right.
They should pay.
How do you compel it? Ishmael will tell you some orders are in vain. How do you compel the West to give you that money? What is the enforcement mechanism in that right?
And that's why there's a framework that needs to be signed.
That's what I'm saying. The framework is tilted in favor of the G7. The West and China, all the developed countries in this, they are together. Africa is a baby crying. Oh, our right, our right. But how do you enforce it? So Africa should wake up from to the reality that we are beggars and we have no voice. As we are telling off the West. They are saying they will do when they want to do it. 2024. Come 2024, they will say we'll deal with it 2026. I take Kenyans to the regime of President retired, the late Daniel Moi, when the SAP, structural adjustment programs, were brought into this country. And the president could be told, retrench civil servants. We'll give you the money. After they retrench the civil servants, then they are told, no. Privatize some companies. This is the same game that President Moi was played. And when Kibaki came, he simply ignored the West and looked inside to develop this country. When Uhuru came, he simply ran away from the Kibaki politics and the economics and went to China, in bed to China. Now President Uhuru has left. We have President William Ruto, who has also gone with the begging balls to the West. Let us be honest to ourselves. We will deal with the effect of climate change as Africans. We'll deal with the question of droughts and the question of famine as Africans. If we are hoping these guys are going to think about it, they will never close their factories. They will never close their factories. Because it is out of those factories that the economies of these countries are running. And who carries the brunt of all this? Africans, and in particular Kenya. Right now, Kenya has been given what to do. And what to do is not even beneficial to the Kenyans themselves. It is beneficial to the Americans. Because, for example, when they talk about they will give this money, it is similar like SGR. They will give that money, their companies will come to do that work, they will not pay taxes, they will twist us because we are babies crying. Let the president come back, leave Egypt, let us deal with our own issues as Africans. But going there to give threats.
I think a lot of people who are, activists on this front would disagree with some of your sentiments, Wakili. Arnold, let me hear from you, then we move forward.
I love extraterrestrial settings, and I do a lot of studies and looking at that. I believe that I'm not just a citizen of the earth and that we are not living alone. And sometimes when I look at Mars, it feels like we, the people, human beings who are on Mars, messed it up and ran and came here. Because that's how it looks like where we are going. Now, if you look at this climate change business that we are speaking about today, so much of it looks like it's fairy tale. When these guys meet, for me it looks like it's a business meeting of snake oil merchants. Because we do a lot of talking and there's so little that comes out of it. So as much as activists, especially the local ones who want really to be vocal about it, but we also know that that is a business model for them. That is how their careers and that's how they sustain their lives here. Even this 4%, I so much doubt the 4% that Africa contributes to global warming. Because what is made in Africa? Literally, when we speak about the agents that are really frustrating, or rather that contributes to the climate change so much, it's just in two sectors, manufacturing and agriculture. to what role? How much does Africa contribute towards those two sectors?
Zero.
So we do not do so much. So this 4% looks like we actually have to be, as in a goat has been lost, and all of you, mnapakwa damu ndio ionekane, at least all of you have to be guilt tripped. So this is what I think. I think when the president calls out the West, he is right, because the other thing that we've really been given, it's really looks like it's a multi-level marketing thing, is this carbon credits thing. Like you plant this number of trees and then we will give you this particular money. It's not going to work. Now, to the core of things, Africa rushed, and especially we Kenyans wanting to look like we are very progressive, we rushed into passing laws. We go to those conferences, we pick up those particular concepts, come here, pass laws. Some of those laws have slowed progress. For example, we have got coal in Kitui. Coal will be of help to actually give us cheaper energy. But
at what cost?
But people who are, at what cost? Let me tell you this. Zainab, it's so easy because we've been washed out. Yeah. Volkswagen today is one of the best brands in the world. Actually, they've always competed with Toyota, who is the best as in numbers. So Volkswagen, the biggest Volkswagen factory in the world, which is in Germany, runs entirely on coal. We are talking about Germany. Who are we to Germany? We are not. We are not
so
anything.
This
is what I'm saying.
This
is what I'm saying. You talk about livelihoods of our young people here. Why the cost of production in this country is very difficult is because of issues like energy, for example. We want to put up a nuclear plant in Tana River, for example. We have got 101 disincentives and evangelists, those activists we're speaking about, telling us that we cannot go that particular direction. So we cannot use our natural resources that the West has used to get to where they are. They cannot give us money on this carbon credit and this snake oil they sell to us. So we go down. The Orient on the other side, the guys in the East, have ignored that. And China has decided that they will actually have to get where the West is before they meet them on the table. So we in Africa, poor as we are, the owners of those natural resources cannot use them because we are pleasing people elsewhere. We have to shift the way we are negotiating this. And we cannot be the first people. Are you going to be here for 100 years? You will not be there, Zainab. This is my point.
But at what cost? And I mean, my question is...
When you speak about at what cost, what have you done?
When we are speaking of the